Okay, I'm going to put up a quick video on this grade boot deal. I just got through grading your week 2 assignment using the grade boot, and you guys should have attended the big blue button. Uh, so far, I've only had one guy not fail, and I'm not to grading yet, but I thought I need to get this little video up. This is not hard. It's just like I said from the very beginning. It's just different, and a little class clarification, a little hint as to how to do the assignment, and that's what I was doing that big blue button for. But maybe next time. So I'm gonna put up this video, and here's the one thing that nobody did was to call me and say I don't know what I'm doing or I'm not sure I'm doing right. I had no phone calls like that, and like that self advocacy thing we talked about, or some of us did anyway. If you don't do that, this is going to be a long 10 weeks. Uh, this doesn't get harder and harder, it gets more advanced and more advanced as we go along. To get these basics down, they will be applicable to all the things that we do from here pretty much. So take note, take heed, give me a call when you don't know. It's okay. So here we go. All right. You see, I have the module, second week module up. There's the tailgate. Here's where I'm going to be putting the new video, but I don't want to go there right now. Yes, I do. I want to go there because I want to read you something. I don't have the video in there yet, but I will have later tonight or tomorrow using the grade boot video. I hadn't got the video yet, but this is like so what we're doing is we're determining the amount of cut or fill uh, when we're checking excavation or an embankment or fill, whatever you want to call it, while it's in progress. The grader will say, what does it look like? And you'll jump down in the hole or jump up on the embankment and you'll take a shot at the grade boot on the stake. And you can tell him, well, you need to come up 8/10 or you need to cut down uh, 3/10, whatever it takes. That's the beauty of this little hand level and with the engineer's rule. So here's a couple of things. Just remember, if it don't work out in your head calculating it, and cuts are usually added and fills are usually thought about as a minus. And when you get into more advanced stuff on estimating, which is coming up, you'll understand that. So the grade boot is a known distance above grade, and if you understood the hike up, that's how we know where to put the grade boot. If you've got a 3 foot grade boot, if that's what you want, and you you have a cut of 2 foot, so the difference between that grade boot and that cut of 2 foot is 1 foot. So you'd measure it 1 foot on the stake, and that's where you'd put a 3 foot boot because 2 feet of it's under the ground. You got it? So that three with a line under it would be 3 foot above the desired grade. So if you understand that, then what you want to do is the first thing is to find the difference between the reading on the scale, your engineer scale, as it compares to the grade boot. Look, if the reading on the scale, this is rule of thumb, if the reading on the scale is lower than the grade boot, example, a reading of a 2.8 shot at a 3 foot 3 feet grade boot means the grade is too high. So just remember that the reading is lower than the 3 foot grade boot. So first thing in your mind is I'm too high, so therefore I need to cut. How much do I need to cut? What's the difference in the 2.8 and 3 foot? 2/10. Then I need to cut 2/10, and therefore I would add 2/10 to that two after I got that cut down. Once I made 2/10 lower, I would read 3 foot when I took that shot. My reading on the scale would be the same as the grade boot. So if it's if the reading on your where's my so if the reading is higher, like for instance, where's that example I got? So that one is what I just said, you need to cut 2/10. If the reading of the scale is larger or higher than the grade boot, you're too low. So you need, if you're too low, you need to fill. You need to come up. How much? Well, a reading of 3.8 shot at a 3-foot grade boot means you are too low. You need to fill 8/10. Now that's what you need to keep in mind. That takes away a lot. That takes a little load off. If you just remember, if your reading is lower or less than your grade boot, you're too high. If it's more, such as right here, you're too low. So the difference for you're at your 8/10 of a foot too low. So you got to fill it 8/10 right here. Okay. Now let's go back, and I want to take a look at, because I don't want to take too much of my time or your time. Let me go back. Remember, more important than anything else is if you still are lost, once we go to this next little view here in just a second, I want you to call me, shoot me an email through the inbox in Canvas. Get in touch with me and say, I'm just lost. I don't understand. I think I got it. Is this right? You know, that sort of question. Here we go. Let's look into this assignment just for a little bit and just get you like a little shove, let's say. So here's the week 2 assignment that so far we're not doing very well on it. Let's see. I'm going faster than my brain goes. Okay. Here's the assignment itself in the flesh. Look, a grade checker is using a hand level to sight a grade boot. I call it shoot a grade boot. And some people call it the hike up. The hike up and the boot are different, as we just talked about. To let the operator know how much needs to be cut or how much needs to be filled to reach the desired grade, or the desired grade at wherever you are at that location. I got 7 scenarios down here, and I want to go through a couple of them. Let me get my glasses and my calculator at the ready. So let's look at number 1. The first thing I need to know is oh, by the way, this cut in all cases, it's already been dealt with. That's how this grade boot was set. They had a cut of 2 9/10. But once that guy, whoever was in front of you that set that grade boot, already calculated, he set it at 3 foot above grade. So you don't need this once you have this. This is 3 foot above grade. So let's see what he shot. He shot 3.4. Is 3.4 larger than 3? Yes. It's how much larger? It's 4/10 larger. So I'm 4/10 too low. So what I need to do? I need to fill 4/10, right? Right. Right. All right. Let's just flop around. Oh, here's one that's kind of off the wall. I'm gonna. Oh, we're still reading this state. Don't forget, number 1, 2, 3, and 4 are all shots at this 3 foot boot. So look at number 4, 2.1. Is 2.1 higher or lower than 3 foot? I don't mean higher and lower as in up and down. I mean, is it a larger number or a smaller number than 3 foot? It's a smaller number. That's probably a better way to look at it. So that tells me it's going to be a cut. What's the difference between 2 1/10 of a foot and the 3 foot grade boot? 9/10, right? So I'm going to have to do something at 9/10. What, point 9/10. What am I going to have to do? That told me a while ago, that tells me I'm going to have to cut. I'm sorry. That tells me I'm going to have to cut because it's not as large a number as this. It's lower than 3, not elevation wide, just number wide. So that tells me it's going to be a cut. How much of a cut? Well, I need to cut it. How much is it going to have to go down to make it 3 feet? It's going to have to go down 9/10. So this would be a cut of 9/10. Now let's skip on down. Let's get one. Let's get this big guy here. Look at this. Now also pay attention to this. We changed boots, didn't we? We got a 4-foot boot that we're shooting at. The reading on the engineer scale is 5 1/10. So fill in the correct amount of either the cut or fill. Is 5 1/10 larger than or more than 4? Yes. How much more? 1 1/10 more, right? So if it's more than the first rule of thumb, that means I'm too low. So how much am I too low? What's the difference between 5 1/10 and 4? 1 1/10. So it will be a fill of 1 1/10. Okay? One more, and then you're on your own. I'm not here to do your work for you, but I really want you to consider, if I ask you to do a big blue button, it's because I've done this before, and I know that it's probably going to take a big blue button. So look at number 7. 3 4/10. That's what I'm reading. Look at my boot. Is 3 4/10 number wise larger or smaller than 4? It's smaller than 4. So that tells me right away I'm too high. So I'm going to have to cut. How much am I going to have to cut to make it read 4? Well, a cut is a plus. So if you take 4/10, if I add 4/10, excuse me, I can't get this out of my mouth. If I cut this thing down 4/10, it's going to read 4, because it's as the depth goes down, the reading on the engineer scale goes up, right? Because this sight right here, this line of sight, wherever this guy's standing, it's not going to change until this dirt changes. So if I'm sitting over here and I'm reading, I forgot which one we were on. I really forgot. Oh, 5 1/10. Let's say that we're on there. That's higher. Oh, I'm messing you up. I feel it. Let's start over. Let's pick number 7. 3 4/10. I think that's where we are after all. So is 3 4/10 lower or higher than 4? Well, it's lower. So that means I need a cut. That's I already got that. That's just that rule of thumb. How much of a cut? Well, what's the difference in 3 4/10 and 4? Let's subtract it. 4 minus 3 4/10 is 0.6. So I did that in my head, but I think I'm right. 4.0 minus 3.4 is 6/10. So it would be a cut of 6/10. If I add 6/10, when I cut, I'll be going down, and that will increase the number on the scale. It'll increase it 4/10. So then once I go down 4/10, when I take the shot at this 4, I'll read 4. I know that it's just different. I know I just went through this fast, but you don't overthink this. You don't need this. Just remember, if my number that I read, if my shot, let's call it, is higher, for instance, right here, than my grade boot, I already know I'm too low. How much too low? 1 1/10, because that's the difference between 5 1/10 and 4.0. If you subtract 4 from that, you will get 1 1/10. So I need to fill 1 1/10. Okay? Now remember, went through this fast. I'm going to stop the recording here in just a minute, and I'll have the video. It takes it a while to load up. I'll have it there probably by in the morning or late tonight. So be sure after you look at that video that it'll be just what we've done. We just made the video. After you watch it and you still have questions and you're really not sure about things, just give me a call. Tell me what you're doing and I'll help you out on 1 or 2 of these. But I really need you to know this. This is like crucial to moving on. Okay. Thank you.